and welcome to my home. My name is Jackie. I have a lot of unboxings to do in a row. You're going to see me in the same awesome blue t-shirt in all the videos. So this is the beginning of January 2024. These videos will be posting in February. Hi February, future me. So this is an item. I got a whole bunch of things in the mail at once. I don't know which one this is. Let's find out together. I have my trusty scissors right here. Let's open this in such a way that I don't cut into anything important. Good, this is the one I was hoping this is going to be. So, story time. I fell down the rabbit hole, and this rabbit hole got me this. Now, I just filmed earlier, and you will have seen this already, my Longchamp, or not my Longchamp collection, my Ferragamo collection. This, if I'm remembering correctly, is this is a Ferragamo project bag I forgot I purchased. So I got this off eBay. I took a risk, because it was... You can see the love. This bag has been loved and used and adored. This is a croc embossed leather, so it's cow leather that has a mock croc on it. So it's not actually crocodile, but it has that look. And I just think this needs a good cleaning, not even a cleaning, a conditioning, because this has probably never been conditioned. Let me show you the inside. So this is how the strap attaches. And you kind of see how shiny the inside flap is compared to the outside flap. And it's just an open hole. And then in here is the Ferragamo. Excuse me, my allergies. If I cough right into the mic. I'm very allergic to mountain cedar. And this is mountain cedar time. So I don't see the normal plate that shows like made in Italy. That normal, oh, there it is. It's just very faint. I had to pull it up. It's faded. The Ferragamo right here. Let me see if I can show you better. But it's very faint, very faded. But the lining is correct. Made in Italy. The number is DK216192, which doesn't mean anything to me. It has it has the Gancini lining, which is like the Gancini stamp kind of lining. So what am I going to do with this? And this is the Gancini right here. This is the only part on this bag that, if you're looking on the exterior, that shows it's a Ferragamo. If you see this is a very small detail most people aren't going to look at. And this is why I think it does not have a back pocket. It's a little chewed up on the side here. And it's chewed up. What I mean by chewed up is it's shown. This is where all the stress is for the bag. It's opening and closing. It's also how this is abrading against that. So that's just going to happen with the way this bag is constructed. So I'm going to take off this belt strap. And I'm going to clean this with you. Or you're going to clean this with me, I should say. So this used to be a gold hardware, actually. It's just faded down to the base metal, which I'm completely fine with, because I don't really care for gold anyway when it comes to hardware. And so I just unthreaded that. Simple, easy peasy. You saw this came right out of the box the way it is. So I'm going to grab a conditioner. Where did I move on? Oh, here it is. Oops. I dropped a different bag. Look at this. It just fell on the floor. It said, use me. So I'm going to grab a cloth. Very important. I'm going to grab my favorite Where Are You conditioner. I have so many tools of the trade. Let me just show you my whole kit here. I've shown it to you before, but I redid it because I have so much stuff in here. This is my collection. That's my dog, Mr. Watson and Mr. Milo. Mr. Milo is the Great Dane. Mr. Watson is my pug. they're upset because their person, which is not me, my husband, is out. So I'm here alone, and I'm just doing a whole bunch of filming. It's a rare thing. He and I are almost always together. And where did I put my favorite conditioner? This is sad. So this is just some acrylic paints I have in here. This is a honey leather conditioner, but because of this is my suede cleaning set. This is all suede cleaning material. I'm just going to move this out. It has to be in here. These are all my towels that I use. These are all the clean towels. This is edge coat and black edge coat and mahogany edge coat. I will probably be using this black edge coat to fix this because it's really beaten up. These are all my brushes. This is what I use to clean the inside of my bags with their fabric. These are different types of brushes, horsehair mostly, different stiffnesses. My favorite conditioner is not in here. I must have used it and put it somewhere else. Dang. Now it's going to drive me crazy. Like, Jackie, I know I just saw that. Okay, so plan B, we switch over to my second used conditioner, which is the heavy duty leather preservative Bic LP by Bicmore. This is this one. And yeah, this will work. It's a heavier wax base versus a liquid base, and the one that I love the most is my Feedings, which I don't know where it is. I must have used it and stuck it somewhere else. Typical Jackie. No, it could be right. I have a bunch of other stuff in there too, but we'll go look at that later. Let me move some other stuff here because I have a bunch of stuff. As a good YouTuber, I should have already pulled all these things out, have it ready to go, show you all the cleaning stuff, and just have it boom, boom, boom. Here we are. Instead of, I'm looking for it now, and I'm talking away from the mic, which is a no-no. Looking for something that I should have, oh, there it is. There it is. I thought it might be here. This is my favorite. This is my favorite conditioner. And I thought it might be here because this is where my wet wipes are. These are just, and I'm going to use this right now. So I thought, well, maybe I put it there because it's probably the last place I used it. So let me get this stuff out of the way. And I had this bag sitting on top of it. That's why I didn't see it. So I'm just going to dump everything else back where it was actually supposed to be. It's not a video if I don't drop something. I drop something in every video, I think. Another reason why I put this that can spill and shatter and break, these are plastic, but you don't want this stuff to splatter. So I put them all in these like dollar store pencil cases. So I'm not going to use this Bicmore. I'm going to put that to the side. This is a stiffer brush, so I'm not going to use that one. And that's how I decide what brushes I use on my bags, is what material is it made out of, you know? Let's see if this wet wipe has any wet left. This could be one of those. Yeah, these are no longer wet wipes, they're dry wipes. Grab this one. Another one. These, I just get these out of the dollar store. And these are also more dry than wet because they've been sitting there so long. And then I'm just going to take this and just go over this bag super quick. Nothing too wet. I'm just going to see if there's anything on it. Nothing. Just a quick, super quick. And the interior, and I'm just going to go over the fabric too. It's not a big deal, guys. It is not a problem. And there's nothing coming off. This is slightly damp. It's not a super wet wipe. So put that to the side. And then the fun part. The fun part for me is this. Okay, so this is my favorite conditioner. I'm going to use this. I'm not going to even bother with saddle soap on this. It doesn't need that type of cleaning. It really just needs a good conditioning and time, and maybe another conditioning and more time. And then at some point, I'll do the edge coat. Okay? So, I like this conditioner, and I just grab a bunch of it, and maybe that's too much in one go, so we'll do a little less, maybe that much. And I'm going to do where I want to just go in there and just go to town. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go in there and go to town. So at some point, this probably had a coating on the leather to protect it, and it's worn out. You know, it's there's still a shine to this leather. It's still a beautiful leather, but you could see where it's faded a little bit and had wear spots just from use. So this will actually make the 5th bag in my Ferragamo collection. My collection video, which you would have just seen, I think it's already loaded, will be, I'll make sure I load that one first. Is my 4 bags. So when I was looking on eBay, I just found this, and it was such a good price, because I can't afford real crocodile, and I like crocodile. I do have one little bag somewhere it says it's real crocodile, but it's like one of those touristy from a farm type of crocodiles. So, and it says genuine crocodile, but you know, I don't know. So you can see here there's some peeling. It's actually kind of a peeling of the coating that was originally on this. It's like maybe this is actually, I think, from storage damage, and there might have been some correction tried, or it could have just been a water spot, honestly. This stuff is treated and stamped. It's a good leather. This is not a new bag. This is a vintagey bag, but there's nothing wrong with this bag. That a little bit of color correction, a little bit of conditioner, and I'll make sure to do this video in series so I can show you each step of the way, so not just this first part. And I'll do the dreaded editing, and I will add to it so you can see the whole finished project of this bag. So today is the first day of this, and then what I do is I'm going to let this sit overnight, and it's just going to soak up everything it's going to soak up, and then I buff it the next day, and then I'll probably add another layer of moisture to this. This is actually a really well made bag. It feels fantastic. I like the structure of the leather. It's thick leather. You can feel it. It doesn't have a back pocket, which is fine. I normally don't use back pockets. I normally have my phone in my hand, or it's in the bag. It's not actually on the outside of the bag. I get too nervous with my phone just sticking in the pocket in the back or the front. Normally it's always in my hand, just because there's a little bit of edge wear right here. Nothing serious. Again, this is actually folded and stitched together, so there is actually no real edge coating there. There might be a touch, just a touch, but I don't actually think so. I think it looks like edge coating because it's a folded treated leather, and it's folded and then stitched over the 2 folds. So at the ends they thin out the leather at the ends, they fold it under, and then they do a top stitch to close it. At least that's what it looks like based on my sewing skills. And I do have sewing skills. I'm not the best, but I do understand patterns. I understand patterns to know that it's actually a work of art to design clothing, and it's not as simple as blowing something up. You actually do have to design it to scale up appropriately. You can't just say, oh, times whatever, and that's your size. That's why plus size clothing is actually really hard to design for. So now this has a really heavy amount of leather conditioner on it. It's to the feel. So I'm just going to put this to the side. and let it sit, and that's all you do. And then I'm going to take the strap, which is very pliable because it's the most, you know, it's bent, it's curly, it's been used. Actually, it's in actually really good condition for probably the age of this bag. This bag is at least 10 plus years old, at least. But I think it still looks fantastic. And a lot of times, people don't really know how to take care of their bags, leather bags, or they just never had to. They've never had to in their life, and they just, it wears out, they just get another one. They don't think about, oh, well, I could just put some conditioner on this and it's fine. This is an expensive bag, and the person who bought this probably just went and bought another bag. And then they somehow, this either was, you know, I always like to make up stories like, how did this end up with me? Like, was this a reseller? Did this go to the Goodwill? Was it found at a thrift store? Was it, who did this belong to? Did it belong to an estate sale? And mom, dad, somebody passed away, and they just said, okay, I don't really want this. Let's just donate it, get it out of my life. You never know. But it doesn't have paperwork. There's no way to track it. I have a number. I have a brand, but I don't know when it was made. I know it's a cow leather. I know that it originally had gold that's faded down to sterling, like to the base metal. And it's a product made by Ferragamo, so I can make some assumptions. My assumption, well, we know it was made in Italy. My assumption is that this is a vegetable tanned leather, and then it's embossed with a mock croc, because it's not real croc. And now I just gonna let that sit there, and you know, and probably in a couple hours I'll come back and look at it, and maybe I'll buff it, maybe I'll not. I'll probably just leave it overnight, to be honest. And that is my newest bag. We'll see how it turns out, and you will see with me as I add more to this very long clean with me or fix with me project bag for my vintage Ferragamo. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next segment.